to do the recap.
All right, let's start with the theme song. Corey, take it away.
Insert theme song here.
5, 6,
Good job.
7, 8.
Welcome back to another slightly delayed adventure of Storm King's Thunder. Last time, the party was continuing to make their way southward towards whatever that fucking town is that I can't remember off the top of my head. Humble something or another.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Hundlestone, there we go. I had it right there.
Louisville, Kentucky.
As the party was progressing southward, they had encountered a snowstorm, which in turn forced them to hunker down for the night and encounter a ghost, which wanted them to be musical for them on a broken lute, but that didn't quite work. As the party continued to adventure southward, they came across a turned-over wagon, some blood, some gifts, and then some white guard drakes, which decided to use their burrowing to effectively make things difficult for the party. And with some crafty tactics and a party member being knocked out and in turn revived, the party had managed to finish off these guard drakes, and that is where we come back in for this week. Party just having finished guard drakes and looting some corpses.
Um,
Das loot.
So my backpack is overfilled with Christmas toys.
Yes.
for all the Christmas girls and Christmas boys.
Assuming you guys have nothing else you want to do with these bodies, i.e. bury them or try and clean up said blood, you can continue your adventures southward.
Yeah, let's totally break the ice and bury them in there.
I think I'd at least like kind of pull them together and like rest them, positioned all neat and maybe arms crossed.
Well, you're going to have to put that shoulder back. It kind of got loose.
Would you like to place these individuals?
Not too. I mean, just probably in this like nook of the rocks.
Okay, we'll move them over there just because it's fun. Oh, look, they're holding hands.
Look what I did.
So, with that, you guys still have a couple hours of travel before the evening would take you, and you are able to continue your trek southward through the wonderful, horribly cold, windy, just miserable conditions of the north. It's like Game of Thrones, but yeah, D&D.
But instead of winter coming, it's here and it's never leaving
Mm-hmm.
because we're too far north.
So,
How is that different?
So, according to the map, you guys are at the end of this day's travel, probably about half a day, depending on weather and road conditions, etc., outside of Hundlestone. If you want to push on, you can make it a little bit closer. If not, it is up to you.
Well, guys, what a long, strange trip it's been. And I can't wait for life to get completely back to normal.
How far to Huddlestone do we know? I guess would be the question.
With Sirik with you, he'd be telling you it's about half a day's travel left. The snowstorm kind of goofed you up a little bit here and there, but...
And how late in the day is it?
It's pretty much sunset at this point.
I think we should. I think we should stop.
Yeah.
All right then.
I forgot to grab my notebook. Okay. So, we'll operate under the assumption you guys are using the same watch order, etc., etc. This evening, Let's find out if anything of excitement happens. As I lose my dice.
I vote no.
I vote I can't tell.
Okay. Ogilvy, what did you get for your perception check?
5. 4 plus 1.
Okay. Well, luckily on your watch, nothing seems to be happening. You do hear the occasional, wild animal off in the distance. The aurora borealis kicks up a little bit again tonight. You get a nice view of the light show in the sky.
Ooh, that is
And
pretty, pretty.
right as your watch is coming to an end, you do hear a cracking sound, but it is not that dissimilar from what you guys have been hearing walking through the snow and ice. It's kind of the sounds of snow, ice, and settling and finding a new resting position.
So that's the early stage arthritis in my knee.
Next up is Danvers. If you would care to turn over to him.
I rolled a 15.
Okay. The cracking sound was hopefully turned over to you by Ogilvy. If not, no big deal. As your watch carries on and the light show continues, this cracking sound seems to be getting louder and louder, and it seems a little ways off. Not horribly close, but not horribly far off at the same time.
Okay.
But other than that, nothing of interest happens.
Okay. I will let Bearfay know about the cracking noises.
Okay. So as that's turned over to Bearfane, may I get a perception check for you?
23.
Okay.
I see everything.
With this cracking sound being turned over to you and you being aware of it, as your watch is wearing on, the cracking sound suddenly gets very loud, almost thunderous, and then stops all of a sudden. And you make a note a little ways off, probably no more than 100 feet. A hole has fallen through, and it turns out that there was a lake that you guys were just a little ways off of. That the snow and ice finally became too much, found a soft spot, and broke through. So there's a 15-20 foot hole through the ice leading to some very frigid, very miserable conditions if you had happened to fall through them. But
Good for us that we didn't.
with that, though, nothing of interest happens on your watch, and Cyric takes over.
I will let him know that a huge ice shelf kind of thing just fell into some probably even colder water back over that
Alrighty.
way.
I'll be keeping my eyes out for it then, and I appreciate it. And his watch carries on without incident, and he rouses you all in the morning for another relatively clear day, but it looks like there may be some winds and possible blowing snow off in the distance closer to Hundlestone. Oh. So is there anything you all would like to do this morning before continuing your trek southward, or no?
Portent. Take a look at that. 1 and 18.
Okay.
Intriguing. I can't wait for that one to be used against me.
Yes, that's what I want to use it for.
When it comes to a push-up contest, like, oh no, I remember this. Ogilvy rolled a 1.
Okay. So as you all are trekking down the road, so far so good. Nothing of interest is happening at the moment. But Kaz, as we kick you over, you catch a note of something over in this region that looks off.
I sort of point. I point over there and just in a low voice, say, "Keep an eye out. Something is wrong." And I'm going to detect magic while we pass.
Okay. Just for posterity's sake, can I get you all to roll initiative for me?
Oh, 21.
Alright. Ogilvy has a 21. Bearfane?
8.
Right. Kaz?
15.
Right. And Danvers?
12.
Well, right. So as you are progressing yourselves forward, your detect magic is what? That's 30 or 60?
That's a good
6,000.
question. 30 feet.
Okay, that's just... Alright, Ogilvy, you would be up first and are welcome to move yourself as you see fit.
Alright, I see nothing ever. So I am just trudging off as per normal. 5. Nope, wrong window. Come on, D&D Beyond. Be a bro. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And since I don't see anything, I don't see any reason to go faster. Turn.
Okay. Well, with that, you manage to get the attention of what is best described, if I can get the right page, as a big fuzzy monster.
Ew.
Very large, bluish tinted skin, white heavy fur, and horns coming off of its head.
Um, hey, Cars, what do your horns look like again?
Uh, I don't have them.
Then what am I looking at right now if it's not you?
And he will be taking a step forward. And can I get Ogilvy
That
to make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Okay. That is a 12 plus 6 for 18.
All right. Meets it, beats it. Let me just make sure. So you feel this chilling presence come over your body, and it almost feels like you are going to freeze yourself in place. But seeing this creature and knowing your strengths and what are apparently its weaknesses, possibly, you manage to shake it off without incident, and you are not paralyzed. So with that, that would consume his turn, which then rolls us into Kaz. It is your turn.
okay. He looks large and scary. So I am going to send a third level magic missile.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's going to be 5 of these. Yeah. 3, 6, 10, 12, 16 plus 5, 21 force damage.
All right. It definitely impacts him, and you see the poof, poof, poof as it hits his fur, dusting off some snow. He doesn't seem too bothered by it, honestly.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'm going to stay back there.
Okay. Then that rolls us into Danvers. It is your turn.
Alright. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20 so I can be up with Ogilvy and I guess I'll hold an attack for if it charges at us. No, it's not.
Okay.
I'll actually go right there. That way, if if it stopped like there, I was still going to be able to hit it.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
No.
All right, Bearfane, you are up.
All right. I guess I will also advance my position and hold an attack in case the creature becomes aggressive.
Okay.
That's 25 right there.
Danvers and Bearfane, what kind of attack? Are you holding a ranged or a melee attack?
Melee.
Ranged.
Okay. Anything else you would like to do, Bearfane?
No.
All right. Then we are back at the top with Ogilvy.
All right. Can I make a perception check to see if it wants to talk to us or wants to fight with us?
Sure, go for it.
17 plus 1, 18.
Looking at it, it looks like it is slightly emaciated and probably looking for food.
Okay. Well, we're not food, are we, guys?
Depends on how hungry things are.
I
Oh,
would prefer not to be.
Okay. Then I would like to rage with my
Okay.
bonus action. Let's see here. Where is my rage? Where's my fucking rage? I got too many options here. That requires a D8 roll, which a D8 looks like this. And that gives me a 5. What does a 5 do? Whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before your rage ends, that creature takes 1d6 force damage as magic lashes out in retribution. I would like to jump forward 5, 10, 15, 20. Try to keep it in the bottleneck, and I'm going to make a longsword attack at it.
Go for it.
That is an 18 plus 6.
That'll hit.
And you know what? I'll make this a trip attack as well. So there is 1 dice. There is 2 dice. Where's my other d6? There it is. And I get to reroll both of those since they're 1s. So that is 11 slashing damage with 7 superiority damage for 18.
All right.
And it needs to make a DC 14 strength saving throw, I believe.
Okay. That is math. A 16.
Oh.
It passes.
All right. Oh, also, if the target is large or smaller, it has to make it. If it's bigger than large, it does not.
It is bigger than large.
All right, then I just did it to make extra damage.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Realize that I'm bad at judging height, and I'm done.
Okay. Let me see here. Since he can do... What he's going to do is he's going to move through Ogilvy. 15, 20, 25, 30, and he's going to stop right there. And let's see how this works out for him, because if I'm not mistaken... Yep, the 3 of you would be in his range. So he is going to take a deep breath, and he is going to let out a cold breath attack.
I don't like it.
And it has a 30-foot range, so I need Danvers, Bearfane, and Kaz, because it's just outside of him, to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Bearfin, you get a +3 to this. Don't forget. Kaz, wait, Ogilvy's not included in this, right?
No,
Correct.
he is not.
Okay.
So I don't get a +3, right?
You do not know. You're outside
so-
of 10 feet away from me.
I didn't think so.
Oh, I didn't need to make it, Joe. Did I?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Bye, guys.
You said con, right?
Yes, a Constitution saving throw.
I got a 4.
All right, Bearfane.
26. I got another nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Danvers.
17 with all bonuses.
All right. Let me see what we do then. And math has just failed me.
Goodbye, math.
It's 3 damage.
All right. So, Bearfane, you take 21 cold damage. Danvers and Kaz, you each take 42.
42.
42.
Good night.
Wait, with a 17, I failed to save?
Yes.
Wow, you suck.
Yeah, he told us earlier that my DC 18 was a meets it, beats it
Jesus.
for the paralyze.
But there is no paralyzation with this one.
Yeah. Well, unless you're Kaz
True.
who decided not to use his 18 for the save.
I didn't think it would hit me with 42 damage.
So
But
you're
that will end our abominable Yeti's turn and roll us into Kaz.
I'm asleep. Or unconscious.
All right, make a saving throw for me.
7.
All right, 1. Danvers, you are up.
Oh boy. Okay.
We're in some deep beans now, boys.
Yeah. All right. I am going to. I'm going to use my bonus action.
It would have triggered your held attack and Bearfane's, by the way,
Oh, okay.
because that was an aggressive action.
Yeah.
I'll say.
So if you want to do that first, you may.
Does an 18 hit this stupid thing?
Yes, it does.
Okay. That's going to be for 9 bludgeoning damage.
All right, and Bearfane.
Hold on. I'm reconnecting here.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my tab for Roll20 was gone.
Oh, weird.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at the first level.
All right.
That is a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. Yahtzee, 16 also for the damage, radiant damage. And he is now marked.
He is. All right. Now we roll into Danvers' turn.
All right. I'm going to make both of my flail attacks at it. So the first one is a, I think they both hit. There's a dirty 20 and a 22.
Correct.
All right. So for the first one, I'm gonna. It'll do. What is that? Math. 11 bludgeoning damage.
Mhm.
And for the second one, it's 8 bludgeoning damage, and I'm gonna. Wait. Yeah, 8 bludgeoning damage, and it's too big for me to move it. And I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, so that next turn I can save Kaz's stupid life.
All right.
That's going to do it for me.
Then Bearfane is up.
Okay. Oh, man. I get advantage on the attack, so I want to take advantage of the advantage.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit him with Guiding Bolt again.
Okay.
Or at least try to. Oh, advantage. Duh. Holy farts. Okay, I am going to use my Channel Divinity right now to change this 3 to a 13, because believe it or not, that was the best of the two rolls.
Oof.
So that's a 19 with my attack modifier.
That'll hit.
Yeah, 16 again. Radiant damage.
And he is still marked. All right. That rolls us back around to Ogilvy.
All right. Here's the deal. No one is allowed to hit my friend, not even me. We solve our arguments with words. And this makes me a level of angry where I'm going to reckless attack this thing.
You have advantage.
What's up? Oh, I already had advantage. Okay. Well, then that ends up being an 11 plus 6 for 17.
To hit?
Yep.
Yep, that hits.
All right. Then I am going to instead do a menacing attack on this. And that is 10 plus 5. How much rage bonus do I get? Yep. So 15 slashing damage plus 8 superiority damage for 23 total damage.
All right.
And then if that's the case, I would let, if it's still alive, I would like to use my second wind and attack again.
It is still alive.
All right. And since I announced reckless attack, this still gets advantage.
Correct.
And oh geez, that saved my life because I rolled a 3 and a 13 as well, Dan. So that will be a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that will be, I get to reroll that. So that is 9 plus 5 for 14 slashing damage, and it still needs to make a DC 14 saving throw, or it becomes afraid of me.
14. It is afraid of you.
What one? I think it's wisdom.
Yeah, it would have failed regardless.
Okay. Yeah, at that point, there's just like a lot of slobber coming off out of my mouth because I'm like, you don't treat my friends like that. I'm sorry.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Fling a little bit of that slobber onto him, but that's it.
Easily enough done. It makes a snotsicle on him, on his nice fluffy white body. He is going to take a step there. He is going to make a multi-attack at Bearfane because he is afraid of the little man Ogilvy. So first off, can I get Bearfane to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Let's see. Okay, Danvers, are you still within range?
I am not. No, it's only 10 feet, unfortunately.
Okay, then it's only a 21.
Well, you still succeed, so you are fine there. Let me give you your 10 foot, because for some reason I didn't copy that token over. It's really hard to see on here. Let's go with that. That's easier.
Oh, you and I are both doing it.
Yep. Either way, works for me. So that you are fine on, but he is still going to make 2 melee attacks at you. The first one being a miss with your AC, And the second one being a natural 20 for a total of 31.
That just might hit.
So that will be
Math, I hate you.
23 slashing damage plus
Jeez.
10 cold damage.
Guess who's down?
Down again.
All right. That will conclude our Yeti's turn. Kaz, you are up.
10.
Yay! A
That's-
success.
I was just say, is that a success?
10 or higher is a success.
Okay. So the odds being-
Danvers.
All right, I'm going to use my action to give 10 hit points to Kaz.
All right.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run away using my movement to go 5, 10, 15, 20. And then I will cry. Because this Yeti is awful.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Nope, that's it. I don't have anything I can do for a bonus action.
All right, Bearfane, you are up. If you would make a saving throw for me.
12.
All right, success. Rolls us back to the top with Ogilvy.
I see my slashing them and hoping for the best strategy is paying off. So that's exactly what I will do with a reckless attack. That is a 14 plus 6 for an adjusted 20.
That'll hit.
4. And reroll that. So that will be 7 plus 5 for 12 slashing damage.
All right, how would you like to do this?
I would like to start by making its knees, or making its legs a little uneven by slashing at the knee. When he
All
comes
right.
down, then I'm going to essentially just look at him and say, this all could have been avoided if you just left my friend alone, and then I make him eat my steel.
Make him eat
As
my
you
steel.
do, the sword goes in his mouth as he apparently is trying to say something in a language you do not understand, and it exits out the back of his head.
I'm sorry, I was too busy checking your tonsils for cold symptoms. But I don't care what he has to say anyway. You guys all right? Bearfane?
I'm doing lay on
Bear-
hands on Bearfane.
Bearfane?
I am.
Talk.
I'm
10
alive at least.
10 hit points.
10, you said?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I know I'm not the person who usually starts with the let's try more violence as a solution to our problems. But can we stab this one a few more times to make sure it's actually dead?
Just check its pulse. Or check its breath. Put your sword by its mouth and see if you get steam.
I put my sword back in its throat.
There is no response to sticking the sword back in its throat.
I do it one more time just to make sure.
Still, no response.
I don't think it did anything. I'm not seeing any data. Should I just try one more time?
No.
Or probably.
I still do it anyway.
Okay.
Still no response.
Okay.
Does it have anything on it, or is it just like a wild animal?
It is best you can figure looking it over a Yeti, but it is more of a feral Yeti.
Okay.
Easily enough to perceive by it being a little more unkempt, a little rougher around the edges, and a lot more hostile.
So yeah, quick to be aggressive.
It is much more in the lines of feral animal than civilized Yeti, for lack of a better term.
Do you know a lot of Yetis, Cass?
Not so much, but
They're distant cousins. Have you not seen a Furbolg and a Yeti?
No,
Mhm.
I've actually never seen a Furbolg or a Yeti in the same room at the same time.
Don't look now.
It's almost like they're figments of my imagination.
It's all just Ogilvy's fever dream.
have you ever seen the Yeti in the same room as anything?
No,
So it could be anything.
I've seen you in
yeah.
the same
I
room
mean,
as a half orc.
who? Couldn't be me, could it?
It's 100% you.
Look, yeah. If it's all cool with everything, the fact that like we're this close to town and there's still things attacking us, how about we get fully into town and then not get attacked?
I don't know if it's just spending more time with you or if we're rubbing off on you, but you make more sense every day.
Bless
While
you.
we're over here, I just want to take a quick look over here. Like, does it seem like there are signs that it was, like living here, or if it's just hiding out to
Make an investigation check for me.
take a good roll? 22 total.
All right. Looking over the space really fast, it looks like it was a dugout hole in the snow and ice that it has piled the snow behind it, thus making it easy to pull back over for camouflage. It seems more like a ambush point that it has discovered that it found easy to get food versus a living space.
Okay. I'll just basically share that. Like, as far as I can tell, it wasn't living here, so it might not be a concern in town. But we should be careful.
All right.
So, assuming you have nothing else you would like to do with this Yeti, you are all welcome to continue your trek forward.
Do we check its Yeti pockets?
I think Ogilvy did that about 4 times.
No, that was its mouth pocket.
Is that not the Yeti pocket?
I don't know. I'm not the Yeti.
So, as you guys continue moving forward, after about an hour, hour and a half, you all notice coming down the center of the path toward you is a group of individuals that seem slightly heavily armored. They are covered in furs, mostly of the white persuasion, some heavy leathers underneath, and they seem relatively well armed. As they approach, they go, "Travelers, we are a hunting party from Hundlestone, looking for a scourge that has been plaguing this pass as of recently. It is a Yeti of sorts." Hold on, I'm just getting a message from work.
Quick as hide.
Okay, then. Random electrician joke is what I just got from work.
Is it literally just those 3 words?
No, it is an actual electrician's joke.
Oh, okay.
It's stupid, but it's funny.
You should reply back. That's funny, but never ever text me when I'm on call.
So, to continue going, we are looking for an abominable Yeti of sorts that has been attacking travelers on this path heading towards Brynshanda. You wouldn't have happened to encountered any tracks of the sort?
No,
Are you
does
guys
it-
getting paid for this?
How much would it be if we had to, kill it and bring it in?
Well, it depends on whether or not you've officially taken the contract. If it just happens to be dead, and somebody brings it in, I'm sure the reward wouldn't be as high as if you had taken the contract.
Right. So if we take the contract,
Well, regrettably, me and my party have already taken it, so...
I will take it from you.
Well, that will cost you at least 100 gold pieces.
But what's the payout?
Yeah,
100
what's the...
gold pieces.
No, tell
But
you
you will
what, you
have done
can...
nothing.
Why don't we do this? You give us half, because your work is done, and we won't tell the guild that we killed them.
Their work is not done, though.
Well, the hard part's over.
Well, proof do you all have that you've actually completed this task and aren't just trying to swindle me and my party?
I pull out the sword that I haven't cleaned yet. Right. I just go, I'm just going to set this down on the ground, and then you can smell it, and then tell me what you think.
There's something wrong with this one. Has he been hit in the head one too many times?
When you find the Yeti, you'll find exit wounds, roughly matching the size and shape of this blade, through the mouth, out the back of the head. 4 of them. Maybe less, depending on how many times it went through the exact same hole.
Oh, also, I kneecapped it real good.
I just step up and I say, this is what a dwarf who's already died once today looks like. I don't think you really want to go there.
Yours looks like you have had a rough few days. May I offer you some Flamebeard's fire brandy and,
Guy.
I pick up my sword and say, if it's the fucking tavern keeper again.
No, but
I
listen,
just have a...
I don't think that's an unreasonable request. You get to bring it in, and we get a half of the reward.
Well, if you would be willing to return to the locale of the beast's disposal, so I can pay you upon delivery versus just trusting that you have done it and putting myself out some gold, I would appreciate it.
All you have to do is smell the sword,
What
and
was
that's
your,
all the proof you need.
what was your name, my friend?
I am Tardik Brighthelm.
Of the New England Brightums?
Why? How did you know?
He just sounded super pretentious as shit.
Let me tell you, you don't seem like fully equipped to maybe take a Yeti on yourself. And we have a dead Yeti over in the canyon that is courtesy of us. So, just for the retrieval fee, he's offering you half. That's nonsense. You can take 10 gold. We take the rest.
Well, that doesn't seem very reasonable.
All you have to do is take a hike and then carry something back. And you get to be the hero. You can tell everybody you did it.
Between all of you, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Like,
Do we all
My
make
I'm
persuasion is
confused. Are we
trash, so
all
I'm just
making them
helping.
with advantage, or is one of us making it with advantage?
One of you is making it with advantage.
Okay, I'll leave it to
I
Kenneth.
got a net 20.
Oh, okay. Dan
So
rolling
we'll leave
loaded
it-
dice today.
So,
Yeah, it's that same one. That's the third one.
Get them all!
so he looks you all over, looks at the recently undead dwarf, looks at the recently undead furbolg, and just goes, actually, you all look a lot worse upon further inspection. Here's the contract. Do what you wish. I'm gonna go home.
Well, all right then.
Wise choice.
Oh, come on. When am I ever going to get somebody to smell this blade?
Smell my finger. No. And Tardik Brighthelm just turns on his heels and kind of pompously begins walking back southward the same way he came.
Does this mean we have to drag the thing into town?
Yeah.
Well, what if we just cut the rest of the head off? Do we really need to carry the heavy bits?
Here's
Oh.
what you do. You read the contract. So I read the contract.
Okay, perusing over the contract, it is a contract for one abominable yeti on the 10 trails between Brinshander and Hundlestone, located relatively outside of Hundlestone. And all that is required is proof of death or removal of the scourge from the area.
I think we could get away with just the head.
Well, we've got what, 5 horses, right? If we
How many of us are there?
Yeah, because Sirik is with you.
if
Yes.
we lash the Yeti to the horses and use them to help us pull it, we can bring the whole Yeti back, and then the people can do whatever you do with a huge Yeti's pelts or claws or meat. I don't know.
I wouldn't eat it.
I wouldn't eat it either.
That's a
but
good
I
idea.
don't. Well, I mean, makes us look better.
Sure.
Yeah. Lash a couple of ropes around its legs, one to each rope to a horse, and just start yanking.
I think that works.
Isn't that how we draw and quarter people?
If we were to
That's
go
if
in
we
different
go in
directions.
Well, now that requires 4 ropes. Yeah.
Okay.
And they should really call it whatever. Quintering? Because you get 5 pieces.
Well, the head, I assume, goes with one of the shoulders.
I don't.
Fun fact, that's not traditionally what drawing and quartering means, is pulling them apart with horses.
Is it with donkeys instead?
No, it's more about disemboweling them while they're still alive and throwing their intestines on a hot grill and cooking it.
I feel like that doesn't track with the name of the torture.
Like
You are
Yeah, right.
drawing out their interior portions,
quarter,
and then you basically quarter them up.
like
You know,
a
they
chicken.
cook them and then eat them and then feed them back to them or something. It's been a minute since I've looked it up. It's actually a lot worse than what you expect.
This is why you're on so many lists, Mike.
Not having to do with the security clearance or the nuclear secrets.
Nope.
But yeah, you guys, spend a little bit of time traveling back, lashing this Yeti to your horses, and it's going to take you a little bit more time to drag this thing through the snow than just lopping its head off and lashing it to the side of a horse, but you were able to make your way back to town relatively easy. And so, as you all approach, you notice as you're getting closer to Hundlestone, the elevation takes off drastically. It is getting very, very steep, very, very fast. What few bits of plant life there were to begin with are becoming even more and more scarce. There is a winter moss that is kind of clinging to most of these stones this far north, and that is mostly the extent of the plant life that exists up here. Occasionally you'll see a few mountain goats clinging to cliff sides, and so on and so forth. Hundlestone, as you approach, seems perched on the side of the mountain slopes. The buildings seem low, almost as if they are half buried into the ground. The roofs are very steeply pitched to allow for the shedding of snow, and it seems like this may be the last outpost of civilization before taking the pass to Icewind Dale, or the first welcome signs of refuge after making the weary trip back south. So, as you approach, there are a couple individuals at the gates. They seem mostly of dwarven build, and kind of just wave you on in. It seems like this is a fairly common event of people coming in and being very haggard and bringing in various bounties.
Fairfane, you should ask for directions to where we need to go.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, I'll ask. I guess I can do it in Dwarvish. Ask one of the guards who we report claimed bounties to.
Hey, a claimed bounty? If you just go to the local sheriff, he'll be able to point you in the right direction and probably give you a payout. One of the townsfolk may not be of much use. We have a rough life here, and we kind of mind our own businesses. And if we're not tunneling, we're drinking, and so find the sheriff. He's probably drunk somewhere.
Uh-oh.
Could you point somewhere in a general direction for us?
Well, I mean, we could do that.
Into the town.
Ah,
Give me a.
all right.
You can see why
I
these guys
lost
pulled
my
door
list.
duty.
I lost my list that I had a name on. So give me a moment.
It is known as Flamebeard's Fire Tavern,
No, that's up in Brainshander.
LLC.
Hell did I lose it to?
This is Ice Goatee's Frosty Brandy.
Gotta love when you lose what you just had, don't you?
No, you don't have to love that.
Where did it go?
It's familiar.
I don't know. I'm having a brain fart on coming up with something. So. We're gonna go with the Hungry Table Pub. It's just through the center of town, off to the right-hand side as you make it through. He's normally there because, there ain't much to do if you ain't mining and you ain't in for causing trouble here.
Did I miss something?
You're looking for the Hungry Table Pub,
Hungry Table Pub.
and the sheriff's name is Helgarn. He is another dwarvish individual who probably pretty wasted, as he is usually, and you should be able to collect your bounty from him.
All right. We get
Off to see the wizard.
yeah, we get to find the sheriff and get paid and find lodging. Look at that. Probably. Watch, it's the only tavern in town that doesn't have an inn. As we go through town, does it look to be a mostly dwarven town? Is that why the buildings are so short?
That's racist.
Well, no, you said it looked like they were like half buried in snow, but if like most people are dwarven and it's a dwarven built city or whatever, then, well, I guess Brinchander was dwarven built, wasn't it?
It's a lot of dwarven make. There's a lot of dwarven craftsmen this far up north in the mountains.
Dwarves like tall ceilings.
They do.
Is
Make
there
a
special to it? Is it like vaulted? Or just like tall?
make a perception check as you're going through town.
0.
16.
Wait, I'm sorry. 2.
All right, you are very aware that you almost seem like you're taller than most of these roofs. Anybody else?
I rolled a 16.
Okay, Danvers, you become aware that most of the denizens of this town seem to be rock gnomes and shield dwarves. There is a smattering of other humans and other races, but they are much, much more rare. It seems like this town, as you're moving through it, has the smell of a forge to it. The entire town. Like, this is their main business here is mining, excavating of ores, precious gemstones, and the like, and exporting them elsewhere.
I look for Neves.
As Ogilvy and Kaz are moving through the town, and even Danvers, occasionally You catch somebody in passing, look at you all and go, well, you might want to stoop a little bit lower lest you get blown away by the winds. Tall folk tend not to last very long here. They look at Barefane and go, he's got the right idea.
Wait, you guys are here because the wind hasn't picked you up?
If you haven't noticed, we've got some strong gusts blowing through this town, so tall folk tend to get blown down the hill more often than not. Y'all have a good day. And he wanders off.
I look at Kaz and goes, that cannot possibly be true.
Oh, you should be careful. I
I
know the area.
Yeah, I bear hug him and pick him up in the air and see if he flies like a kite.
What?
Are you letting this happen, Kaz?
No.
All right.
I'm surprised though. It's a
How is he
surprise
unhorsing him?
attack. Yeah.
I'm giving him the full Simba from the Lion King.
Make contested strength checks then. And Ogilvy, you will have advantage. Because you caught him off guard.
11.
13.
All right. You unseat him. Can I get you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, though? I want to see if you can maintain your balance.
I get advantage on this because it's an effect that when I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
My
10.
deck save or his deck save?
His dex save, because he has unseated you from your horse.
Okay.
The problem is, though, as you unseat him, you lose your balance momentarily as a strong gust of wind comes blowing through the center causeway of town, and you both go falling off into a snowdrift.
They
Taking no
were not
damage.
fucking lying at all.
I'm not riding next to you ever again.
I did not believe them for a second.
As you guys make your way through the center of town, you do come across a sign that is called, and it is hanging off of one of the roofs above a kind of entryway that is covered and descends into the ground. But it does say, the Hungry Table Pub. And the sign is the image of a table with the stylings of a mimic. So, assuming you guys are going in, as you descend down, it gets you out of the wind, and it does seem slightly warmer here. The ceilings are of average humanoid height, so, it's not like you have to duck. It's like it's built to accommodate people. As you enter, you make note that there's a long wooden standard height with some chairs that have been modified to allow shorter races to more easily access it, but a long wooden bar, numerous tables throughout the room, a large hearth that is lit and warm, off in one corner, keeping the interior rather well lit. In a adjacent corner, there is another set of stairs that seems to descend in an L shape further into the ground. And you see numerous denizens coming in and out with their packs or changing clothes as they enter and exit. It seems like that may be the direction to go if you are looking for lodging. Where the rooms are, they are further in the ground to keep you further away from the biting cold above. Behind the bar, you do see a gnomish individual who seems to be running back and forth on a runner platform, doling out drinks here and there, making idle chit-chat with individuals. At one end of the bar, there is a dwarven individual that seems passed out on the tabletop of the bar.
I'm thinking that's our sheriff.
Well, who do we want to have go up and talk to him?
Well, obviously the bartender.
If it's Flamebeard, I'm gonna be so upset.
I don't think he was a gnome. All right, we go talk to the gnome. Ask for the sheriff and some nice warming imbibement.
All right. As you walk up to the bar, he goes, "Hello, travelers. What may I do for you? I'm Ninwar, proprietor of the Hungry Table Pub." And that is Niwor.
We're looking for your sheriff.
Oh, that drunkard? He's down at the end of the bar there, passed out.
I look at Danvers and I say, "Told you."
That's where you can find him most days. He doesn't do much else. We're a relatively safe town other than the monsters outside.
You might still consider a sheriff who does something.
He does. He's easily findable.
I mean, I guess that's better
Um,
than
And
Bridget.
useless when you find him.
Look, when
We have business with him. Does he have a deputy or somebody that we can talk to? We have a contract to turn in.
See that for a moment.
depends, are you the deputy?
No, but I can get his attention easy.
Do that first, please.
Okay. He picks up a pitcher, jumps down, and runs out the front door really fast, and comes back in with a pitcher full of snow. Hops back up on his bar, gitters back down to the sheriff, and dumps it down the back of his shirt. And you just hear, "You little fucking bastard, how many times have I told you not to do that?"
I get it. You're unhappy because you eat, and you eat because you're unhappy.
You hear that being bellowed through the bar, and then there's a conversation back and forth. The gnome grabs the sheriff's face, turns his head to look at you guys, points, and the sheriff comes wandering over. He goes, "What can I do for you?"
We would like our money, please.
Yeah, that contract he had, where did it go? He's holding it, by the way.
And as you can tell, it's for 1,000 gold pieces.
He does one of these, holds it out, and goes, "That looks close enough." He looks at Neilor and goes, "Pay them what they say."
I lead into Ogilvy and whisper, "A fool."
Neilor looks at the sheriff and goes, "You drunk bastard, you might want to actually look at it." And he goes,
Excuse me, I have to use the little half-orc's room. Could you tell me where the potty is?
"Yes, it's right through that door on the right side of the hearth there."
Alright, I'll see you when this conversation is over.
Well, you heard the sheriff. 1,000 gold, please.
Sheriff looks back at the contract and goes, "Yeah, that looks good." And Ward just shakes his head and goes, "This is coming out of your pocket, you little shit." And there's this sack that he pulls out that is surprisingly larger than you expected, and it says sheriff's money on it. It's almost like Newark holds on to his money for him, and it just gets paid to the tavern. And he just gives you all 1,000 gold.
All right.
The Yeti's outside.
Okay. Starts pushing the sheriff outside. You hear from outside as he sees it, "That's the right big bastard."
Well worth your gold.
Every
Sure.
copper of it.
That happened.
I should have said 10,000.
That might have been pushing it.
Really, 10 times the cost was not pushing it.
No, but 100 times this.
There's a difference. It's an order of 10. Once that's all settled, I want to, when it's maybe the other people are slightly, I want to lean into the gnome bartender, and say, do you know a Thweep Iron Bottom?
Thwip Ironbottom. Yes, he's one of the tinkerers in town. He uses some of our raw materials to make some gadgets here and there. Why do you ask? He's relatively keeps to himself.
He's
It's a little
a
odd for gnomes.
friend of a friend. So just looking to drop in.
He occasionally, every night, swings by and grabs a drink or two, as everyone's known to do. Hang out long
Occasionally
enough,
every
and I'm
night.
sure he'll turn up.
Take
Everybody comes through every night. I'm about the only tavern you got in town.
Are you the only inn as well?
No, there's a few others, but they're not as comforting or entertaining.
Do you have room?
I have a couple downstairs if you're interested. They'll run you. Let me think here. Where'd I put that one? They'll run you probably about 2 gold pieces a piece, and they got 2 beds per room.
That was gonna be my follow-up question because we failed to ask that before. So we want at least 2 rooms.
All right. Anything else I can do for you?
We're stabling the horses that we have with us.
All right. I can handle that easily enough as well. We'll just call it 3 gold a room, and I'll take care of them for you.
Okay.
He shouts across the bar. A kid perks up, shouts at him about horses. Kid goes running outside, starts rounding up horses.
Okay. So I'm gonna subtract a gold and 5 silver from my inventory. I mean, if all 4 of us do that, it should cover it, right?
A gold and 5 silver.
Yeah.
Man, you guys just scammed a drunkard out of 1,000 gold. Can't even cover that.
Remove.
Well, we haven't split that up yet.
We've got a bunch of stuff that we haven't split up, but I have written down. So
This town is landlocked, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It is basically the highest point at the pass leading to Icewind Dale.
So are we at the spine of the world?
Yes, the best. Here, I'll kick you over to
We're at the
map.
C7T1 junction.
I say, which vertebrae are we on?
So it's basically you guys are here.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, based
And
off
it
the angles,
is-
this is clearly C6.
And this is right along this crest that is the spine of the world.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, it leads downhill towards Brinshander and downhill towards Fireshear or anywhere else.
Fire's here.
There you all are. Do you even know what the individual you're looking for looks like?
Me?
Yeah, well, you're the one asking about him.
He's a gnome. That's mostly what I know. I
a
haven't
good
met
start.
him yet.
Let me make sure. I just had a brain fart of where you guys are at. That's nice. Do. Well, he's a rock gnome. He's got kind of that grizzled face, the working hands. Tends to wear a bluish black coat with a little bit of silver trim on it. And you'll notice he keeps to himself and is always tinkering.
Always tinkering.
Would y'all like any food or anything while you wait, or get to your rooms? Anything else I can do for you at the moment?
I don't really know because I feel like I've gotten away with as much as I can in this town. So no, is that the right answer? No.
Then, well, you're welcome to wait up here or in your rooms. If you want, I can let Flip know when you come in.
I think
Maybe just let us know. Or me.
I think a short rest would be in order. That'd be nice, just in case,
Yeah.
trouble continues to follow us wherever towns we go to.
All right. Well, you all are handed over the keys to your rooms. You're given a ticket for your horses, so you can recover them whenever you choose to see fit to leave town, and you are welcome to your short rest. As time continues on and you are in your rooms, you definitely hear it getting rowdier upstairs. It seems like a good portion of the workers are done for the day, coming in, getting their drinks, bullshitting, sharing stories. The occasional minor bar brawl happens, but all in all, it seems like a rather jovial place. So shortly, hour and a half after you guys settle in, get your stuff put up, doff your armor if you so choose, get comfortable, take your short rest. There's a knock on each of your doors, and they're looking for Kaz Abisai, and it's a little boy running down, just goes, is Kaz in this room? Kaz Abisai.
Close enough.
I'm just here to let you know that Flip's turned up and he's in his normal booth over there by the front door if you're interested to have a conversation with him.
Perfect. He waiting.
He's just confused at what to do. This isn't normally what he does.
Oh.
So he's just standing there, just kind of looking around, going, what do I do now? I delivered the message.
You have done your job. You can leave.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Oh, the boy goes running back off upstairs.
I will head down or up or whichever direction.
Up.
Up.
So as you head up and you peruse by the front entrance, there is kind of a half booth, essentially, that is right by the main entrance. There sits a gnomish-looking individual, shorter of stature, in the coat that you were described, the bluish-black-looking coat. There's tufts of fur coming out of it with the silver trim. On the table, he has something that he seems to be tinkering with.
I'm just gonna pull up a chair, sit across from him.
At the booth, or
I thought you said it was a half booth.
it is a half booth, but I'm saying, are you pulling up a chair to the half booth, or?
I want to sit across from him.
Okay. As you come upstairs, where's the fuck? There it is. He raises his eyes up from what he's working on. He's got those kind of multi-lens spectacles on, so his eyes look extremely large at the moment. And it looks like he's trying to focus for a minute. And then he flips the lens and goes, "You're the one I was told about, I believe. Kaz Abisai. And I hear there's one who gave Beldora a run for her money and got her all fired up.
The one who called her a hooker.
In not so many words, yeah. She needs to lighten up. That was a well done on your part. She's still pissed off about that.
I guess that's good.
What, you don't find the humor in
No, it
messing
was
with somebody else's particulars?
it was very funny in the moment. So what are you working on?
Well, I happen to be working on one of my little clockwork devices here that's
Good way to pass the time and make a little extra coin here.
What does he do?
Well, here, I'll give you one, and here's the key for it as well. He pulls one that's completed out of his pocket and the key that goes for it. And what it is, it's a little clockwork dog. And he tells you that after you wind it up, whoever winds it up, it will follow them for 12 hours. After that, it needs to be wound back up again.
So it's just like it just like follows you. Not that that isn't very cool, but
Well, here, let me give you some perspective. If you were to have somebody that you were interested in wind this toy up without knowing what it is, it would give you the ability to look in on them without them really knowing about it.
so one could like
Essentially, scry on this toy and gather information about their mark.
what if you don't scry? Can you still see? Is there a room inside of the dog?
No, it's just a clockwork dog that is used as a means to an end, especially with persons of interest who have children.
Interesting.
You don't know who I am, do you?
Not terribly well. I was just told. Bill Mora told me you were worth a visit.
Well, let's take a step back. And he motions over to Newor, and he just gives him a nod, and he leads you into a back kind of storage room by yourself.
Uh-oh.
He goes, "This is better talked about in private without prying ears. I'm a Harper spy. I'm here to keep an eye on the 10 trails and those passing through, finding people of interest, goods of interest, and so on and the like. Now, Beldora, she got a little fired up with you, which perked my interest in you, and well, I'm willing to give y'all a lending hand and into the organization, because well, you did us a solid by protecting one of our agents in Bryn Shander. So in turn, I'm giving you a introduction to the organization, per se.
Yes.
So if there's information, people, goods, or supplies, I can usually point you in the right direction of somebody who may be able to help."
That is good. I'm sure that we will take you up on that.
So if you're looking for information on a particular subject, I could probably point you to who you're interested in. You just gotta let me know, and I'll send off the word and point you in the right direction and allow you the introduction. And assuming you have the social graces, you'll be able to get what you want.
Most of my group can handle that. Um, I assume you've been following these giant attacks.
Yeah, they are a little troublesome at times, that's for sure.
Is
Now,
there-
before we continue this conversation, would you like to grab the rest of your party for this? I'd love to meet the one that called Beldora a hooker. I owe him at least one drink.
Yes, I think I'm satisfied that you are worth our time.
Well, if not, I'm more than happy to disappear and rescind my offer.
Oh, no, please. I'll walk off and knock on the doors, wake up the guys. I met an interesting fellow. He is a gnome, and he knows that blanket yeti from Prince Shatter. I think he would be worth meeting.
Okay, sure.
Can I wear my jammies?
That is up to you.
All right, cool. Let's go.
And he gave me that clockwork dog, right?
So it is yours.
Okay. I will head back down with the group.
Oh, okay. He's still in that back room again. Neor, sees you coming back, motions to the back room, and you're more than welcome to step behind, that corner of the bar and go into that back room. And Swip's back there. He looks you all over. He's sitting on a cask at this point, waiting. He goes, "So which one of you is the one that insulted Beldora? I'd love to buy you a drink."
Who's Beldora again?
Say again?
Did I ever learn Beldora's name? Did she ever, or did she only say that to you, Kaz?
Only
She
said
made-
cats.
I lean over to Henry with the blanket yet.
Oh, right, yeah. Yep, that was me.
Well, when we are done with our business, I'd love to buy you a drink.
I won't say no to that.
And did I hear right? You just referred to Beldora as a blanket yeti?
That is correct.
That was his words.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to use that on her. A hooker blanket yeti. She will get so pissed. But she is grateful for y'all making sure that she was safe during the giant attack. So there is that.
It's probably because she didn't know the nicknames I made up for her.
Well, she will.
So, Kaz says
So,
you know things about stuff.
Well, has he not informed you before bringing you before me of what my job and position happens to be?
I told him you were worth meeting.
All right. Well, seeing as he's essentially useless when it comes to disseminating information, I'm Thwip. I am a Harper agent. I happen to keep an eye on the 10 trails between Bryn Shander, Hundlestone, and southward, letting the Harpers know of anyone or anything of interest going back and forth, and offering aid to those who need it and who have striked my interest, and offering introductions to the organization to those who do us some good services. I have offered this one, Kaz Abisai, some assistance and introduction into the organization to help you gather any kind of information or items you so desire.
So wait, Kaz, you want to be a Harper?
I am saying that they have useful information and a network of people like these.
It never surprises me, or it never ceases to surprise me how you can answer a question with neither yes nor no. Um. So, Thwip, I guess my first question has Humblestone had any giant issues yet?
Um, Not so far. I'm sure in the future we will, as giants continue to be a problem.
Um, are you particularly well versed in giant lore by any chance?
Giant lore. Me, not so much, but I might know somebody who would be able to help you. I'm more of kind of the middleman and the arranger of meetings for those who have what others seek. I don't do much in the way of holding information. It's a little too risky, if you understand my meaning.
So your offense.
It's a kind way of putting it, yes.
But he makes
So,
these cool clockwork dogs.
wait, what is that?
Wind it up.
As you screw it off, a bunch of whiskey comes out.
Now that's a thought, turning their heads into flasks. As you set it down, the dog kind of makes a whirring sound, a small barking noise, and just kind of starts running circles around you as it's waiting. as you move throughout the room, it continues to follow you and stop and make circles around you, and it just rinses and repeats.
Okay. Is this Thwip? Is this person in Hundlestone, or do we have to travel somewhere else?
Well, regrettably, you're going to have to do some distance of travel to be able to seek this individual out, but I mean, they're within the organization, they're a wizard, they're pretty damn powerful, and well, giants have been a subject of interest to them for a good long while, so if anybody's going to know anything, they'll be able to help you out.
Okay.
So, if you're interested, I'll arrange an introduction and let you know. If not, I won't say any more.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested.
All right. What about the rest of your party? Because
It's the elite that we have.
It is not in the party's best interest for me to have thoughts.
a man who knows his place, I like it.
Because when I start having thoughts, people start dying.
Well, in that case, since y'all seem to be more than happy, just fair warning, if you let any of the Harper's secrets get out and speak a little too loud about our situations and what's going on, there will be consequences. Is that fair?
Define consequences. Like, are we going to have to wear a lot of blankets and be a Yeti as well?
That is one of the possible options, depending on how bad you screw up.
So is that like a bad assignment at Brinshander, and that is why she was put there?
Not necessarily depending on the individual and what their skill set is. Sometimes it's a really good one. I mean, they've got some pretty good whiskey up there, so.
So sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
In her case, was it a punishment?
A little bit for not being able to take a joke from one of the superiors, but she seems to be doing all right.
That sounds like her.
Wait, does this mean that we're knows now?
You're in the nose once I tell you who you need to meet.
Is it like a secret handshake?
Not really. I mean, a lot of our agents are
Can we
in
make
the
one?
public eye trying to be in the greater good. I'll tell you what, you come up with a good one, report back to me, show it to me, I'll send it to the higher ups and we'll see what they think.
Done.
Not good enough. Keep practicing.
Wow, that insulted me as Jay Clark, that the community high five's not good enough.
That's what you get for having feelings.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, that you're going to need to go to Everlund. That's where you're going to need to go. It's on the Evermore Way. And you need to seek out a wizard known as Crowen Valharrow. And that is Krowen. That's Crowen. And then Valharrow is Valharrow.
Oh my god.
They are both wizards.
This is one individual.
Oh,
First and last name.
Okay.
And that was in Everland?
That is in Everlund.
Everlund on Evermore Way.
Yep.
God, it's so far away.
And he resides at Moongleam Tower.
Moongleam Tower. Okay.
He has a penchant for adventurers who strike his interest, especially ones who are pursuing giant endeavors.
Okay.
How far of a travel is that?
It's a real long
And
way.
Which section of the map is it?
It is
It
north
is,
of the High Forest, just east
yeah.
of Evermore's.
Ah, I see it. Okay.
Pretty far inland.
Yeah, that's a hike.
Like, are we talking about a week? A few
Well,
hours?
a few hours
Probably almost a month.
is quite far.
In game? Because that's not, like, really that long.
In game, it's like
Or
a
I'm-
month.
Ah, damn.
It's a good ways away. But you guys do have shit in Looskin and Neverwinter to do.
We have stuff in Neverwinter?
Thought so.
Thought it was
Or was it
Waterdeep.
Water? No, it was Waterdeep, yeah.
Find something to do at Neverwinter.
Might as well on our way through. Seem to be good at picking up stuff to do.
So that is my direct link for a good amount of giant information if you're interested.
That's very at least sounds like it's very helpful. So
But what about a great amount of information? I'm just saying words. I don't know what this means.
I mean, at very least, it's helpful adjacent.
potentially helpful, just annoying how far it is.
Yeah.
If y'all ever get lost though and you find yourself in a city, just start saying my name and I'm sure somebody will come up, wondering what y'all do knowing me, and they should be able to point you more in a guided direction.
So we're just supposed to walk into a city and start shouting, "Thwip, thwip, thwip."
I think it's more
Like with Spider-Man or something?
we have a conversation in a crowded bar and just make sure we tell the story about Whip Ironbottom. So
The
we're
Tinkerer of Hundlestone, and I'm sure somebody will find you all in a dark alley and inquire.
Are we supposed to mention that you're a harper or that we know things about harpers, or is that word literally never supposed to leave my mouth?
Outside of select company, that word is not to leave your mouth.
So unless I know I'm talking to a harper, I probably shouldn't mention anything about harpers.
Why are you saying that word? You're gonna get us in trouble.
Correct.
Because I think Ogilvy, we're in correct company.
Well, I don't know what the hookers are gonna do.
So that's what I have for you at the moment. If you don't have any more questions or aren't pursuing anything in particular.
Do you know of anyone in Hundlestone who happens to sell exquisitely crafted things, like something that's not your, workaday flail, but maybe something that's, a flail with some extra pizzazz?
If you want, I can put some spikes on the dog's head for you. I mean, look at how well crafted this thing is. It moves on its own.
Well, I was kind of talking more along the line. We found a trident the other day that lets you speak to fish, so something like
That
that.
seems useless.
Well,
Yeah,
could you
Would-
make a dog that will like bite?
I'm sure I could.
Here goes Scott's crossover theme of interest in automatons.
Given enough time, I'm sure I could.
Put automatons in front of me. Like, what do you want?
Here in Hundlestone, I probably don't know of much of anybody, but let me make sure I'm thinking of the right place off the top of my head. Because if I am not, I don't want to fuck you guys up. So thinking about it, your best interest for weapons would probably be Mirabar and the mines therein. Which Mirabar is over here.
Yeah, I see that.
There happens to be no shortage of stone and weaponry. And I mean, they have impressive fortifications. They have, multiple mines that provide all kinds of gemstones and high quality metals. If you're looking for a good quality weapon, that would be where I would go looking.
All right.
I mean, if you haven't noticed in Bryn Shander and here, we don't do much in the way of great quality work.
Mike, I have a question for
Yes.
you, metagame style. I wrote
Shoot.
down Barum Theldon. That he's a dwarf with info about Sir Beric.
Okay.
Is that someone that I already spoke with, or someone that I need to find?
Let me check. Ba. And you are looking for... What was the name again?
Barum Theldon.
That was the individual that you talked to back in Bryn Shander that was a friend of Sir Beric, who was offering to give you information on the Weevil that was Sir Beric's quarry at the time.
Did I actually talk to that guy? I don't think I did.
You did shortly, and because he approached you with the horse and the body and all that shit, and had
Oh,
a quick conversation with you,
I
and
don't.
said if you want to know more, come seek him out. He'll be at the bar for a little while, and you guys passed the fuck out and continued southward the next day.
I don't remember him offering information on the Weevil. So that's why I asked if I'd talk to him. Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure if that was someone I was looking for, because obviously, if he's a dwarf, this is a good place to look for him.
Yeah, you guys were kind of caught up in what do we do with the dead sheriff's body, and giants just attacked, and where are we going next? So it was one of those pieces of information tossed in there.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Let me... Seeing if there's anyone else at the moment off the top of my head that would be of interest for weapons. I mean, if you're looking for something not of as high quality, Fire Shear might be worth checking out as well. It is a mostly dwarven city as well that they're import export, so if anywhere would have something, it may be Fire Shear.
Okay. Um, I don't know, I personally can't think of
Well,
anything else that we need to ask him.
in that case, let's take a 10-15 minute break, right, meow? Since today is going to be a little bit shorter because I have to get ready for work and all that wonderful bullshit associated with it.
Gotcha.
Oh
So,
yeah, you got on called.
not yet. It's getting clothes ready for work because I have to wear FRs and lunches and shit like that.
You're saying abbreviations, and I'm just gonna assume I know what they mean.
Fire retardant clothing. So drinks, shits, piss, be back at like, 05 or something like that. 05, 010, or
Okay.
10, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never ending fun.
What time do you got to get going?
Like 7-ish.
Oh.
Yeah, so we still got about an hour, if not a little bit more. It's just so I'm not rushing around to get everything done at the, end of the night.
Mm.
Because shower, shave, make lunch, all that fun.
Yeah.
Do laundry, all of that. Because with April being drunkard and having a 2-day hangover, I'm having to do a lot more.
She's still hungover today?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like it was, I'm bent over at the waist, staring at the ground, unable to walk, drunk.
That's funny.
So she was very much intoxicated. It was funny. And that way I have a little bit of time to truly relax before going to bed at night.
Yeah.
At least you guys are getting pointed in the direction of something to do.
Yeah, it's just gonna take us a long time to get there. Although I
Yeah.
suppose we don't actually need to like travel from like Luskin to Waterdeep. We could charter a ship with Sarek.
Dear. Yep. There's always options. God's back.
Scott.
Yo ho.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So did you really forget about the session today, Scott?
1000%. Yeah.
That's that's funny.
I have lost track of days pretty bad this week, so completely forgot. Get up early to help move that piano.
Oh yeah. Get that all taken care of.
Yep, it's right there.
Oh, okay. It is right there.
Is it at least in tune?
I highly doubt it. I know, like, my brother has had it for a long time since they moved there. I mean, at least a few years.
Are we talking about Scott's new peony?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother had it at least a couple years because I helped him move it. So sometime in the last 3 to 5 years, and they never tuned it. And Carissa wasn't sure if her parents ever had it tuned, so it's possible it hasn't been tuned in decades. I don't, I can't tune it until like you're supposed to give it like 2 weeks
Yeah.
when you move it to a new place
Why is
before
that?
you actually, because it settle like the wood and all that has to settle with the changes in moisture and air and all that jazz.
How strange.
So like if I tuned it now and then it would go out of tune, like
Okay.
more than likely in the next couple weeks. So
Wood is sensitive.
I also
Yep.
need to find the key to be able to tune it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's built into DeKalb back in the day. They bought it in 1966.
Oh, neat.
Damn.
So we
So that's
apparently used to have a Wurlitzer plant factory.
we
with it.
did. Yeah, my dad was super excited about finding Wurlitzer things
Yeah,
because of that.
Here's a Wurlitzer thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the sort of like Walmart brand record player that I bought, Victrola, was apparently an offshoot of like Wurlitzer, and like they're at once one company and then they split off.
Huh.
And Wurlitzer handled that, like the instruments, and then Victrola became the like sort of like the record player company.
Hmm.
And that's what my dad told me when I told him I got a Victrola Walmart brand record player. And he said if it was in the 1950s, you would have bought one of the best things on the planet. Oh, wow. Packers got another interception. Guys, I hate to say this, but I don't think the Bears are going to win this game.
It
Wait.
happens.
Hold on. I didn't hate to say that at all.
Yes, you did.
Empirically speaking, no. Considering how mad Allison got at me for being a Bear or not being a Bears fan on New Year's Eve.
Did she like just learn that on New Year's Eve?
No, she's known it for over a decade. But New Year's Eve was the straw that broke the Bears fans' back.
That's it, Jay. I can't take it anymore. You're a
Yeah.
Bears fan now. Knock it off.
I'm tired of your existence as a Packers fan.
Right, well, seeing as everybody's back, we can get back into it.
Woohoo.
So you all
Huzzah.
have just finished a conversation with one Thwip Ironbottom pointing you to Fire Shear, or Mirabar if you're looking for higher quality weapons, pointing you towards Everland in pursuit of a wizard, so that way you can gather some information about giants, and maybe a little bit more than you would be able to elsewhere when it comes to the small folk.
Well, suggestion. The longer we tend to stay in towns, the more likely they are to get attacked. Should we away before something bad happens to this place?
It's not. Oh, well, I guess it is our traveling companion's fault. Yes, we shouldn't linger.
Sirach,
Yeah, what can I do for you?
who do we need to drop you off at for daycare?
Well, now that you got me through the worst of it, and it's pretty much all downhill from there, I think I can take care of myself from here on out. maybe spend a little time here in Hundlestone and set them up with a temple to the Triad and work my way southward.
So that's it. Job done.
I mean, if y'all want me to continue tagging along with you, I'll gladly do it.
Well, I
Oh
mean,
no, I
listen,
was just going to sing a victory song if we completed the job.
I thought you were wanting to head down to Waterdeep.
Well, I do, but I'm also seeing that some of the people here have need of some guidance from the gods, so I might want to stay around a little bit and help them out with that. I mean, I did point you out to a family down in Waterdeep that can do y'all some favors if you need.
Are you talking about the Roaring Horns?
Yeah, they should be able to help you out. Just mention me and my father, and you'll be good to go.
All right.
I mean, if you want me to tag along with y'all, I'll gladly do it, but I got a little bit of business here, I think the gods are telling me.
Well, I mean, that's not really us to tell you where your journey is taking you. I don't think we have a problem with dropping off, leaving you here in relatively safe-ish hands. Well, actually,
I mean, I'll gladly go with you to Luskin, and
Is there a reason that we? I mean, not that we don't want you safe, but is there a reason that we need him specifically to be safe?
we didn't want to keep him
Oh,
safe necessarily. We wanted to get him out of Brinchander so the giants would stop tracking him to cities and killing people.
Right.
I was about to say because we're the good guys, and last I
Well, yes,
checked,
I
that's
said
something the good guys do.
other than wanting him to be safe, because of course, there's a specific reason that we would need to protect him.
Because we're good people.
Like I said, other than that,
Because we're great people. I don't understand the question. Is I think what I'm getting at.
is there a self-serving purpose to keeping him alive?
I don't know what ice cream has to do with this. Oh wait, that's soft serve. Never mind. I don't have an answer.
um, I mean, are we good with him getting this far and stopping? I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter what city we take him to. If the
No.
giants want to go, they are going to go.
Yes. I'm fine with that.
I mean, I would guess here is if he's getting searched for the same reasons he got searched, but or before, again, would it be better for the entire world if he was in a smaller settlement or a bigger one?
I guess smaller, because proportionally the loss of life is probably going to be roughly the same. When you've got, you know, cloud giants swooping in their castles and dropping boulders on people, it's hard to really say that anybody's more safe than anyone else.
Then, question: what if we find the smallest settlement? Like the town of David. Population David.
You can take him there.
Ugh, I gotta find out what it is first.
Or are we headed next?
I think our travels are taking us to. I think we were going to stop in Luskin and see if anyone there knew anything about the ordning.
Might as well. It's a larger city that would be on the way anywhere else.
And if we were to go to Mirabar for
Shopping.
for weaponry, it would be on the way. Did we have to go all the way down to Waterdeep too, or Neverwinter, or one of those?
At some point, Waterdeep.
Yeah, I
We have
mean, we do have
hoarders
some
there.
business in Waterdeep. There's a Inirva Coldwater, who's the captain of the Dancing Wave. We have a letter to her from whoever was running uh,
Blah, blah, blah.
Brinchander.
Well, if either way, if we're going to Everland or um, Waterdeep, they're both big treks.
Yeah,
Potentially, we could find a boat in Luskin if we wanted to go south.
that's true. That'd be a little quicker.
All right. Well, if Sirach, if Tupac wants to hang with us, whatever, that's up to him. Um, if we have reason to go to Luskin, let's go to Luskin. If you want to go to Fireshear instead of Mirabar, let's do that. Either way, let's do. I'm about to find some single person town.
Uh,
Your choice. It is the end of an evening. You are welcome to your long rest, and we can continue questing to your choice in the morning.
Yeah, let's do that.
Either way, looking at the map, going to Luskin allows you the option to either head southward or continue eastward to Mirabar.
yeah.
Right.
Well, the other thing too is if we're in Luskin, we can potentially, if there are, you know, weapons in Mirabar and in Fireshear, the likelihood of them being traded is fairly decent, and there may be some in Luskin as they're passing through.
All right. Think we're going to be able to make it out without the sheriff realizing that we've taken him for 900 extra gold.
Feels that way.
I mean, he also doesn't know our names, so the odds are.
He knows.
Let's go
mine.
now.
No, but Nirwar, he knows who we are. He's seen us enough times. He can find us again.
Oh fuck, let's get out of here.
I wouldn't worry about him.
Nope, we decide on the road.
Well, you guys do have rooms for the night, just saying. You have paid for those.
Oh yeah, no, we're staying, but we
Oh, I
need
was
to.
under the assumption we were in the next morning already.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
same. You said
Oh,
we already had
okay.
our long rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to boot scoot.
Okay.
Alright, let's bogey.
As you all exit the Hungry Table Pub, you do make note that the Yeti is still laying outside of the door of this place, but it is partially skinned, and there are the boots of the sheriff sticking out from underneath the skinned portion. he got drunk enough that he partially skinned the Yeti and decided it was a good place to sleep. So there he is,
Tiptoe,
snoring away.
We've all
tiptoe
been there,
around
am I
him and
right?
get the hell out of here.
He's snoring?
Yes, he is
Okay,
snoring.
then I'm okay. We'll move on.
So as you all leave the town with your pursuits in tow,
With our what?
with your pursuits in tow of heading to Luskin, you begin making your way down the road. Off in the distance, though, you all do make note that there seems to be one hell of a storm coming up from the south off of the water. It's almost like it has deadheaded here on the southward slopes heading away from Hundlestone. So it seems in a few hours you are probably going to need to find some form of shelter to be able to easily enough weather this storm. It's going to take a day away from you guys traveling southward if you choose to hunker down. If not, there's a chance you may die in the storm or run into something you weren't planning for.
Let's just roll the dice.
I start stacking rocks again.
Here's one thing that might help that I forgot last time, and I take out the immovable rod.
Yes.
So we could put this into place and it won't get knocked over, so we can use it to stabilize something.
Yes.
You're just stacking rocks.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm paid to stack rocks, not really to think. Like I said, when I think, people tend to die.
So we'll switch you over to the Ice Lake map and allow you guys to take up residency where you so choose for the evening.
Well, definitely not on the middle of the ice lake.
Why not? I know the ice. I know when it's safe to be out there.
So you guys are more than welcome to move your tokens where you see fit on this map for camping purposes.
Drive my limo out there.
Oh my god. Scott with his first Mighty Ducks reference of 2021.
Gotta happen eventually.
Let's hide in the alcove where we.
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Everyone stay close. I've got +3 on saves.
So as the storm begins rolling in, it's a hell of a lot rougher than the one you guys saw before. It's a lot harder to peer through. It's a lot more biting cold. It's a lot wetter. It's that heavy, dense, kind of miserable snow. The wind is blowing hard enough that even your fire is having a hard time staying alight in this.
I stack more rocks.
I'm assuming whoever wants to is more than welcome to make a perception check.
I will just send the Raven out to do that.
Okay. With the Raven out, that would be with disadvantage in the storm because it doesn't have really much any light out here.
Okay. 11.
Okay. It really doesn't catch anything.
Okay.
So, as you all would like to take watch for the evening, as this storm does not seem to be waning, you are welcome to, or you can just wing it and hope for the best. Your choice.
I mean, I'll do my duty.
Yeah, we can do watches.
I'll run the alarm across the hovel.
All right. Who is going to take what watch?
I'll take first if someone wants to roll a d20 and add 1 for me. As I'm pulling dinner from the oven.
He got a 7.
All right.
So, yeah, that's it.
You don't catch much anything coming through this snowstorm.
Guys, it's all just snowstorm. Cover your eyes.
I'll take second watch.
Okay. Who's taking third and fourth?
Third.
Apparently fourth.
All right.
That was a
And if
20,
Danvers,
and then it like fell over, and now it's a 2, so that's a 6 for my perception check.
okay, you almost feel that something is moving out there in the darkness of this snowstorm. Occasionally, it's playing tricks on you, but you don't make note of anything out there in this snowstorm.
Okay.
All right, and Bearfane for his third.
Huh. A 5.
Much of the same. Snowblind. Cold, freezing wind, hard to keep your eyes open. It is definitely a very cold, biting, bitter night. You also seem like your eyes are playing tricks on you, and you feel like you occasionally catch off to the east here, but nothing really jumps out at you. And Kaz, fourth and final.
13.
Okay. You do make note through the snow. You catch a glimpse of something large moving, and then it disappears again, and something large moving, and then it disappears again. And that is about all you catch throughout the night. There's nothing that comes near you guys. There's nothing that really piques your interest, per se. As you all do rouse for the morning, the snowstorm starts to subside. And Kaz, you catch, since you are the one up, that over in this general area, there seems to be a very large blade sticking out of the snow.
Which area? Sorry, I missed the ping.
That would be here, in this kind of general area.
Okay. Once everybody's awake, the storm seems to have passed.
Yeah, it's tapering off now. You can definitely start seeing again. It's in, its final death throes of, there's light snow and a lighter breeze, but nothing as miserable as the night was before.
I will first check my portent for the day. 10 and a 5. And then I will take the immovable rod and keep that in my hand just in case something crazy happens. And walk over towards the blade.
Okay.
Oh, once I've seen the others are awake.
Are you going to be informing them of what you're doing, or are you just off to take your morning piss?
I'm just taking a walk.
Okay.
But I just wanted them to see that I am going that way.
Okay, as you are moving that way, the blade is coming into view. The hilt is sticking out of the ground. The blade seems buried in the snow and ice. It seems much, much larger than what an average humanoid could carry.
Ooh. Got exactly where it was, but I'm just moving until
It's
I
over
can-
here. So as you get closer, if you went to, as you step right there, you step on something very large, very hard, and very much metallic. And upon shifting your foot, you make note that it is a frost giant, or not a frost giant, a fire giant, who seems to be in very, very rough shape. Seems verge of death, not much life left in him. Seems like he got lost in this snowstorm and he is not equipped for being in this kind of an environment.
Like
He has made no move towards you.
seems near death.
Near death, yes.
I am going to use my hidden step. So I go invisible.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shout in giant. shoot, what I want to say. What are all of you after?
With you shouting that, those of you that do speak giant hear off in the distance what sounds like Kaz shouting, "What do all of you want?" This frost giant this fire giant groans and begins reaching towards the very large sword sticking out of the snow and ice right now. Not really able to make a grasp towards it, just kind of wanting something for protection because it doesn't know what's talking to it and it is not in a great condition. So it is looking for some kind of protection at the moment and does not respond at the moment.
I don't want to harm you. I could even save you. But you have to talk.
I start.
I mean, what's up?
I'm gonna start slowly making my way over, but just to where I can like see what's going on. Obviously, Kaz is like doing something.
The
I just want to
invisibility
keep an eye on him.
Um, I am going to after I say that, I'm gonna try to like bury myself in the snow before I turn visible.
Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing so I don't have a brain fart on this. And I'm having a brain fart today. Today's a rough day for me.
It happens.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. There was a specific word I was looking for and I couldn't remember it. In response to your question from before, he's still reaching for his weapon, but he responds in a single word of Vonadoid.
Vonadoid.
Vondod. So Danvers, you hear this bellowing giant voice saying Vonadoid. And he keeps repeating Vonadoid.
And this is not like a giant word that I would have heard. Just by having base language knowledge.
Make a history check for me. Let's see what you remember about Vonadoid.
Not much. It's a 6 total.
No, Vonanoid does not ring any bells.
Okay.
Danvers, if you would like, since you have heard this word, and I think Bearfane, you also, you're all close enough that this guy is not being the quietest. So anybody who speaks giant can make a history check on the word Vonadoid.
Yeah, that's not gonna work with another fucking 2.
Covering myself in snow.
I only rolled an 8 that time.
Okay. None of this brings any recollection to all of you for the word Vonadoid. This giant continues to reach for his weapon, and then he says the word the ordning. The words the ordning and Vonadoid, and the ordning and Vonadoid.
I was
I
starting to move towards the giant.
reach into my bag and take out the love potion.
Okay. Let me look this up real fast.
Do I remember what it does exactly?
Let me. Damn it. Cooperate with me. D&D Beyond is being difficult. That would be a Pillar of Love. So the next time you see the creature within 10 minutes after drinking this Pilsner, it would become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. If the creature is of a species and gender you are normally attracted to, regard it as your true love while you are charmed.
Take too long. Okay, never mind.
As he's still laying there, are you guys going to continue advancing? What are you going to do, Kaz? What are you doing, Ogilvy? Your party members are wandering off to this strange language that you're hearing off in the distance.
I don't recognize the language at all, so I imagine someone just had way too much cheese with their dinner.
Um, could I do?
As he's
I'm
still
gonna
laying there. What?
I'm gonna cast um I'm gonna cast sleep
Okay.
and see if I can catch him to go to sleep. We'll see how dying he really is. Also, 5d8, 13, 7. Is that it? Wait, that's 6. Wait,
With 5d8, the lowest you could get is 5.
yeah, so 17. That's right.
Okay.
Tired.
It's one of those days. With casting sleep on him, he most efficiently passes the fuck out.
Okay, and then I'm gonna try to drag his weapon away, popping out
Oh.
of the snow.
Okay, make a strength check for me.
11.
It does not budge.
Can one of you help me with this? Just want to make sure we don't die. We have like 50 seconds.
So as you approach Danvers and you, Bearfane, you become very aware that there is a large figure buried in the snow with a very large blade next to him. He is a dark-skinned individual with flaming red hair. Very large, relatively speaking, a giant for lack of a better term. Best of your knowledge, for everybody, since this is relatively common knowledge, this is known as a fire giant.
He's a long way from where he needs to be.
Mm-hmm. If any of you would like to see what you recollect about fire giants and their history, to see what kind of peril you may or may not be in, you are welcome to do that as well.
Try a different d20. Ooh,
Switch.
I might actually need to look at
10.
my history stat.
10.
15.
No.
Danvers is the one who remembers this, and it was something that he came in his perusing reading as a paladin. Fire giants are not known to be in cold places more often than not. They are fond of lava flows and warm places and under mountains. They are known as master craftsmen along with master soldiers. They have a fearsome reputation as soldiers and as conquerors, so he is very out of place where he is currently. They tend to flock places that are natural formations of very high heat, so volcanoes, lava flows, deep under mountains, things of these nature.
Okie dokie.
But you guys currently have a sleeping fire giant who has a little bit more time of still remaining asleep.
He's dying and he's asleep very briefly. I was hoping to drag away the weapon just in case he tries to attack, but it's heavy.
All right, I'll give you a hand. Can I roll with advantage if Kaz is helping?
Correct.
Strength? Strength, you said?
Yes.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, it begins to wiggle itself free, but it doesn't come completely free of the snow and ice. It feels like it is buried into solid earth beneath all of this.
So what exactly are you trying to accomplish here, Kaz?
I thought that I would pull the sword away because it was reaching for it, but not that threateningly because it seems to be almost dead.
I didn't mean with a sword.
Oh. I thought we could get information out of it before I kill it.
And he got stuck in a loop of repeating
Two
what,
words, yes.
Bonadad and the
Ordning.
Ordning.
Which is almost helpful because we learned a new word.
Yeah, if only any of us knew what it meant.
But we can ask someone. We have more to ask about specifically.
True.
As he is still asleep, another word comes through, and that is Hekaton, which is Hekaton.
That's just the word for a lot.
I will. I'm gonna try to quickly take out a rope and tie like a noose around his neck.
Okay.
Just so I have something to yank on if he wakes up and I can do something maybe.
All right. Make a sleight of hand check for me.
That's a nat 20.
All right.
Plus 4.
You make a multi-looped noose that seems like it would be fit for the neck of a giant.
Cool.
And it is efficiently placed around his neck. You guys have a little bit longer before this giant wakes up if there's anything else you would like to do.
Anybody else have a plan? I guess one last thing. I'm going to disguise self and try to look like a lady fire giant. But I think I can only get 1 foot taller. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be, I don't know, helpful.
Well, let's see what he does. Okay. As he starts coming around, the first thing he makes note of is that there is a rope tied around his neck, and he begins grasping at it furiously.
I just try to keep a, hand on it.
Are you trying to maintain the noose around his neck? Are you trying to choke
I'm
him
not
out?
trying to choke him out. I'm just trying to make sure it stays on.
Make a strength check for me.
I should have ended the rope off. 7.
You get rope burn as this thing comes whipping out of your hands and take 2 points of fire damage because he has undone this noose in a matter of seconds.
Okay. Yep.
And he continues to reach for his sword, and he begins to turn over and almost start to stand up, but he seems very off kilter. And he goes, find parts, Vonanoid, King, Hekaton, missing, ordning, shattered, and collapses.
Where?
Cyclops
I
is
am
dead,
going-
or
I'm gonna carefully walk towards him and check if he's breathing.
It is very weak, very shallow breathing. If nothing is done, he will definitely be dead in the next minute or so.
I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Um,
His surface thoughts, correct?
that's where we start.
Okay. His surface thoughts are that he cannot die and that he still has things that he needs to accomplish.
And then I'm going to probe deeper.
Okay.
So wisdom save.
And it'll be doing this with disadvantage because of the state it is currently in.
Cool.
All right. It only got a 10.
Okay, that my save's a 15.
Okay. As you dig deeper into its mind and start gleaming information from its thoughts, you get the impression that it is scared to die. It does not want to die. There are images of a large mechanical machine and giant writing, and across the top of it, it says Vonanoid. As you continue to search through its thoughts, you see a image of a very, very large frost giant. Wearing a crown, sitting on a throne, and holding a scepter, with all of the other giant races around him, and they seem to be having a discussion, and then he just vanishes from the throne. And then you get an image of kind of a rank and caste system that is written down. It seems like it's from his childhood, essentially, and it's got the frost giants at the top, and then it's got, or no, it's not frost giants. It's a storm giant that was sitting in the throne. My bad. And then you see this kind of storm giants at the top of this system, and then you see fire and frost giants below that, respectively, with a. Oh, let me make sure I get this right, because it's a little goofy. So. Where is this thing? So at the top, you see written storm giants. Then below that are the cloud giants, actually. And then below them are the fire giants and the frost giants. So it is storm giants, cloud giants, fire and frost giants. And then below that, so below the fire and frost giants, you see stone giants. And then below that, you see hill giants. And so after seeing this kind of childhood paper, all of a sudden it just tears to shreds.
Hmm. So at that point, then the spell would end.
And his
Cast Cure
last
Wounds
breath.
on him.
Okay. How much are you pumping into him?
I'll start off with the first level. Oh, that was great. How about 5 hit points?
All right. So instead of dying, he is returned to 5 hit points, props himself up, and grabs for the sword.
If the rope is still around him, I want to remove that before
Nah,
he.
He tore it off.
Okay.
So he's
And
going for
Giant,
his sword.
I want to say to him that we don't mean you any harm. We just want to help. You look like you could use it. In giant, of course.
In giant, he looks at you and goes, "It would be insulting for me to take help from one of you."
Well, you're not dead already because of my help. So it looks like that logic is out the window. Would you like to continue to get help, or are we going to just leave you here to die?
He thinks about it for a moment and goes, "Fair enough. I will grant you one request, and then I will take my leave."
Is this where we ask for a million other requests?
Honor dictates I return one kindness with another.
Does your culture have something called life debt?
No.
We request that if you will not be aggressive towards us, we will not be aggressive towards you. And I would just like to ask, how did you come to be here?
That is an agreeable request. Let me find shelter, and I will tell you my story. With that, he stands up, grabs his blade, and makes note of Ogilvy over there by a nice warm fire. And he began sauntering over there.
Oh, I love bacon. Oh, so much. It's so delicious in my mouth. Wait, what
So,
the fuck is this?
yeah, Ogilvy, you see this armor-clad, large, very large, he's probably 25, 26 foot tall, giant heading towards you. He's carrying a
Look, I
very
don't
large...
know. Yeah, I don't know what you're all about, but this is the bacon I made for me, and it will not fill you up at all. So it is my bacon.
As
Uh,
I'm running over, I yell to Ogilvy in Orc that he will not hurt you if you do not try to hurt him.
I will yell back in orc. The bacon is still mine.
Of course. And as
he
I'm heading back over there, like following behind the giant as best I can with my little legs, I want to try and gather up anything that we can to, well, wood and expendable items, of course, to try and get the fire hotter.
As he goes to sit down, he basically just plows through the snow and creates a space around him where he's essentially straddling this fire between his legs. So, I mean, you're seeing these, huge thighs that are basically creating a firewall on either side of this small fire that you guys have made to try and warm himself up.
So as he's roasting his nuts, I'm going to put more wood on the fire, I guess.
Warm thighs save lives.
Um, so, after a little while, you can definitely tell he's starting to warm up. Uh, his armor in spots is starting to glow orange, and he seems very pleased by this fact because he is like right on this fire. Once he begins to warm up, tells you that he was up here following the lead on parts for the Colossus Vononoid so that they can rebuild it. And that it is their way to claim their new position in the Ordning.
Is the ordering the uh, why don't you tell us what the ordering is?
With that, he looks you over and goes, I have repaid your kindness by telling you what I was doing up here. I will now take my leave and return to my mission.
You probably won't last long in these conditions.
And if that is my fate, that is my fate.
If you travel with us, you might stand a better chance.
If I travel with you, I will be seen as a traitor.
Better dead than a traitor.
Excuse me. What is anybody saying right now? Like I feel like Haas is saying some witty repartee, but it just kind of sounds like he's screeching.
I guess we have no choice but to let him go. I'm certainly not going to try and stop him.
What if... Hmm.
What does Danvers think about all of this?
Oh, I think this guy's an asshole.
Here, why don't I give you a gift? Wind up this dog.
He tries, and let me see how well he does with this. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, he crushes it.
No.
He's not very dexterous, and this thing was like palm-sized for you guys to begin with.
That was a mistake.
Hey, you probably should
Well,
have seen that coming.
we gave it our chance to either find out information or see if we could utilize the company of another giant, but I think we're just going to have to let this one go, as he has plainly stated that we are the enemy.
Yeah.
I think we're pushing our luck if we try to make him still comply.
Yeah.
Kaz, can you make a history check for me? I just want to see something.
It's a good roll. 22.
Okay. When you were getting images of that large automaton colossus looking deal,
Yeah.
you made note that one of the pieces on that schematic resembles the tracks of what you guys originally saw when you were heading towards Nightstone that had scoured through the road. Seems like if you were to match that piece up with one of the ones on the schematic, they would almost match up.
I ask in giant what the giant's name is.
I hate you guys some days. Where is it? I have a good one for that.
I mean, if he's just like nameless giant, like that's fine. You can give
Give
it
me
to
a
me
moment.
later or something.
He responds with Maumuk Steady Killer,
Mm.
which is MAUMAK and then Steady Killer, one word.
I don't know if that was his name or a threat. Once he's a little bit of a distance away, unless anybody wants to do anything else, I'm gonna relay the information I got from probing into his thoughts.
So is the wardening their like pecking order?
I wasn't sure. I'm still not sure. I wasn't sure how to ask if if that's their sort of caste system, or if that is some sort of Ragnarok type event that is brought about by this machine.
If the ordning was shattered, though.
Is
Like,
that what he said?
yeah.
Perhaps that is it.
So, what were the kind of giants that we fought at Bryn Shander? Those frost giants?
Those were frost giants.
And they wanted
Yeah.
to restore the ordning. The fire giants are building a colossus to try to shake up the ordning.
Or to rebuild it. We don't. That's unclear.
And a storm giant named King Hecatan is missing.
So you know those frost giants were looking for Artist Cimber and the Ring of Winter
Mhm.
to restore the ordning,
Mhm.
whether it be to its original form or a new one, you do not know.
Mhm.
You have just learned that fire giants are looking for pieces of the Colossus Vonanoid that has to do with the ordning,
Don't know if it's
and that there's an
pro.
individual named King Hecaton that is missing. And I think we'll call it a night right there so I can do everything I need to do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
See, you didn't have